Hello, welcome to the video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the Halloween Cup. Halloween Cup is going to be available for 1 week together with the Great League Remix Cup. I'm going to try to make another top team video later on for that one. As always, I would really appreciate if you would leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Those videos always take a lot of time, and I see a lot of people having success with those teams, so shouts to you as well. But anyway, let's take a look at the meta that we are dealing with for today. Taking a look now at the meta here for the upcoming Halloween Cup, we're going to see here already on the number 1 and 2 spot, we're going to have Clodsire. Sludge Bomb as well as Stonehenge have some potential in the current meta. Sludge Bomb going to help you out against Pokemon like the Germnaa a little bit more, while Stonehenge is going to be a bit better as coverage against Pokemon like Mandibuzz. Anyway, this is going to be the main Pokemon that's basically everything is around right now, which is kind of sad because before I really enjoyed the Halloween Cup meta because usually it was like a very not dense meta. Like you had like basically run everything. There were times where you were able to use Pawniard really well. There were times where you can use Scissor really well. Those times are kind of over. I feel like it's very difficult to run those Pokemon, even though maybe Scissor has some potential. But anyway, like there's going to be basically just a focus here on Poison type Pokemon, on Fairy type Pokemon, and Water type Pokemon. And yeah, ground type Pokemon. That's basically it here with the dark type as well, I guess. But yeah, basically you have like a poison dark combination the entire time. You cannot try to disrupt it with like certain Pokemon. For example, Azumarill is going to be very decent against like something like Clodsire, even though the typing is not really ideal. So the secondary typing is already very important for those Pokemon. Here, Greninja is going to be very cool with the water and dark typing, allowing you to hit Clodsire for super effective damage, Carbing for super effective damage, as well as something like Golurk. But yeah, if you go down, like you see already, like the score is usually what can indicate on how overpowered a Pokemon is, as in comparison, for example, the little Halloween Cup, which is currently going on. You see here on how the score completely changes, and it's literally just a Shuckle and Marill Cup. And so you see already on how overpowered Carbink and Clodsire is going to be. Not as much as before, like the Shuckle and Marill, where you couldn't counter them at all, but it's definitely going to be very meta defining. And so we're going to see basically here mainly in today's video as well, and what kind of teams you can build around, with always having Clodsire in mind. Clodsire is the one Pokemon to beat for this meta. There are a few Pokemon that can do it, but there are also definitely a lot of interesting teams that we can build here with Pokemon like Morwell you're going to see today, Rodriguez you're going to see today, Grimer you're going to see today, Drifblim, even Beedrill. And so let's move on into the teams. Moving on now to the team number 1, we're going to have Clodsire in the lead, and we're going to have the Greninja, my favorite one, as a Sazop, and the Malamar in the back. We're going to have here kind of one of the most common used teams, most likely very soon. I would imagine the Mandibuzz is going to be a little bit more common than the Malamar. Mandibuzz also one answer to the Malamar, but yeah, Clodsire, the number 1 spot by quite a bit, and we see here already why as well. Like if you take a look at the Pokemon that you're gonna lose against, here Clodsire can apparently beat even Greninja, which is not the case. Usually in the 2-sheet scenario you're never going to be able to win against Greninja. But Clodsire lose against other Clodsires, which is not the case either. Against Mandibuzz you have actually very solid play. Against Golurk you lose definitely. Against Malamar you kinda lose as well. It's not even that clear of a matchup, and basically Clodsire is a Pokemon that I'm not going to talk about too much actually throughout the video. You could, in theory, put them into every single slot. This Pokemon is a bit too overpowered for this kind of meta, and it's the main reason why I feel like the Poison Sting buff was unnecessary, because I don't really like the fact that Clodsire is literally everywhere. Poison Pokemon itself being a little bit more common, I like quite a bit, but I don't think that the buff was very happy towards like Clodsire, because Clodsire is just way too strong. This team is way too strong, and we can move on to the next one. We're going to have here the one big answer to Clodsire. Like, I feel like it's going to be a meta that's very much based around Golurk. Golurk is going to be one of the strongest Pokemon right now, and very much underrated. The thing is with this Pokemon, the 2-shield scenario is insane. You see here the 0 to 1 shield scenario, which is like one of the worst scenarios for Golurk. You win against Greninja in the 2 shields, just slapping them down. You don't even have to go for a charge move, you just completely destroy them with that. Against Drapion you will be able to win. Against basically needy every single Pokemon here you're going to be able to win. There's not really a dark type. Okay, Greninja you're still going to be able to win against as well, and Drapion I guess as well, but like not something like, for example, the Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz is the hardest answer to it, the Moltres is a hard answer to it, Drifblim is a hard answer to it. But for Ghost-type Pokemon that are good against us, we're going to have the Wigglytuff in the back. And in general, against Dark-type Pokemon, we're going to have 2 Fairy-type Pokemon as a Sazop. I could even see the play where even you maybe want to run the Sazop of Weezing. The additional thing about a Germnaa Sazop is that you're going to have coverage against Clodsire as well, making it a little bit easier for you later on to deal with it if you're going to bait this Pokemon out. This is the main idea behind it as well. You're going to have the hardest answer to Clodsire. You have a Zoom Roll, which can still deal with it, but then you're going to have Wigglytuff in the back that doesn't want to face Clodsire, and the Toxapex that doesn't want to face Clodsire in the back as well, so you can kind of avoid this Pokemon with it, and honestly, his team looks amazing. Team number 3, we're going to have here a team with Greninja, and we're going to have a triple water team, and the reason why this is possible is Clodsire. Literally, because A, you're going to be able to do some solid damage against Clodsire, but also B is you're going to have next to no electric type Pokemon around. Anyway, I had to take a little bit of a break quick, but anyway, this team's definitely very, very strong. I don't know where I ended, but I kind of just want to continue here, and so we're gonna move on to team number 4, right? Team number 4 is going to be an old classic one as well here for not the Halloween Cup to be fair, but for the Open Great League. We're going to have Azumarill double Ghost. If you know this team, you know this team. It's been out, I think though technically created, I think it was Season 8 where he created this team. And so, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one because it's actually very, very strong in this meta. Azumarill is the only core breaker for the backline. Your own Azumarill can deal with it, Sableye / Shadow Claw and Power Gem to deal with it, and so this team actually has quite a lot of potential. Like literally, Clodsire gonna lose to Sableye. Clodsire has super effective damage coming from all the other 2 Pokemon as well still, and so it is definitely a very solid team here that I would recommend you to give a try because I think it's going to be cool. Only real core breaker is going to be something like a Drapion. Drapion going to be a bit tricky to deal with, or something like a Skuntank. Moving on, team number 5. This team is kinda around Grimer and the idea behind Grimer. Grimer is a cool Mudslap user that a lot of people don't really expect as a Mudslap user. So, basically, what do you want to do with this team? We're going to have Greninja in the lead, trying to beat Pokemon like Golurk. Yes, you go into not always beat it, but beat in the 1 and 0 shit scenario, which is kinda cool. You're going to be able to beat something like the Clodsire. We have Grimer as our Say-Stop, running Mudslap, Mud Bomb, allowing you to destroy Clodsire, but also doing some decent damage against Pokemon like the Golurk that you can bait out as well, and you should be able to go for a Mud Bomb in time as well before the opponent gets to their first charge move, allowing you to get at least like a shield advantage or something with it. And yeah, then you're gonna try to basically get rid of those ground-type Pokemon for your Carbink on the back, which is super highly rated, which I don't really know if it's actually going to be as strong, but it's definitely going to be a Pokemon that will be interesting for this one here. But yeah, Grimer has a lot of potential as a Say-Stop in this meta in my opinion, and so we can move on to team number 6. We're going to take a look here at Mawile and Klefki. Mawile and Klefki are both going to be interesting Pokemon as both of them got a buff. You have the Fairy Wind on Mawile, which got buffed, and also the Klefki got buffed with the move Astonish. And so, as you're gonna see here, we're going to have Drifloon as our Say-Stop and Golurk in the back. Golurk is just a bit better than Krokorok. Krokorok would be also an alternative. Again, here, Mawile is going to be okay against Greninja in the 2-shoot scenario. Drifloon going to be a great Say-Stop, having coverage against basically everything with the Icy Wind there. That is going to be good against it, or like Astonish is going to be great against like Quillfish and stuff. And also going to be a very good Pokemon in the 2-sheet scenario. Then we're going to have Golurk in the back, having a triple Shadow team here potentially, but you can also have options for like non-Shadow variants of those. And this team looks like a lot of fun, and Mawile definitely has some solid play. Next team, we're going to take a look at one of the core breakers that I found while trying to look and research this meta. We're going to take a look here at Beedrill. Beedrill is going to have access to the move Fell Stinger, which is not recommended on the moveset usually, but in my opinion, like kinda crucial in order for this Pokemon to work, because Poison Jab is really solid, but Drill Run is great coverage for this meta. As you're gonna see here already, Shadow Beedrill looks like a top tier pick for this meta. As you can see on the right side, you're going to be able to beat quite a lot of Pokemon, but this is only even here in this scenario. But if you're going to be able to farm down something, for example, like if you're going to see an Azumarill or something, you can farm it down. You're going to end up in a position where you basically need the unbeatable, because nearly every single Pokemon here in the meta is either weak to like Poison Jab, Fell Stinger, or the Drill Run. Especially Drill Run looks insane. Like Clodsire weak, Carbink is weak, Quillfish is weak, Weezing is weak, Drapion is weak, Toxapex is weak. Like so many Pokemon here are weak to Drill Run, making this Pokemon a very interesting pick for the current meta. Runerigus in the lead is going to be very solid as well. You can also go ahead and go for the Golurk. It really depends. Runerigus has the potential, at least against other Golurks, to be a little bit better. But yeah, definitely an interesting team here, and I think it's going to have a lot of play. Also, Ariados would be an alternative for Beedrill. And next one, we're going to take a look at Morpeko. This Pokemon is, of course, going to be released tomorrow from when you see this video, or at least when this video is going to get live. And Morpeko is going to have some potential for the meta. As you will see here, we're going to have a team with Azumarill, Clodsire, and Morpeko, the two most common meta Pokemon together. But basically, you kind of want to have some neutral play against the Clodsire, or against generally any kind of ground type Pokemon. I do also like the Safe Swap of the Malamar here, but this really depends on the meta that we're going to see here, because if we're going to encounter a meta where Mandibuzz is going to be insanely common, then this would be a little bit of an issue, but any other kind of way here, this should be kind of working out quite well. Our idea here is basically with Clodsire Safe Swap as well, to try to bait out potentially a Mandibuzz. But actually, you don't even need to really bait on Mandibuzz. Never mind, you don't really need to do this here because you don't have the Malamar on the back, but you're going to have the Morpeko on the back. Morpeko actually is very solid against it, but you kind of need something that deals kind of with ground type Pokemon. If ground type Pokemon are gone, Morpeko actually has a lot of play in the current meta. You kind of need to bait out something like Golurk as well, which I feel like maybe even Malamar would be the better Safe Swap here. Next one, we're going to encounter here team number 9. We're going to have a team with a Dusknoir, Weezing, as well as the Azumarill. Dusknoir has some potential, but also, if you don't want to run Dusknoir, you can also run Shadow Haunter. Shadow Haunter is very interesting. I could even see Astonish Shadow Haunter having some play, but as you can see here, the Ghost typing, just the pure Ghost typing, has quite a lot of very good matchups in the current meta as well. Only really weak to Greninja, or like generally speaking Dark type Pokemon, making this Pokemon very interesting. And so yeah, this team is going to be very solid. Weezing Safe Swap is going to be very good in the meta as well right now. And the final team is not something that I built, but my girlfriend built. Also, shout out to her, check out her channel as well. We do some content on her channel as well, like we do like basically 2 videos a week on her channel together as live commentary, so if you want to take a look at that one, link is going to be down in the description. Anyway, we're going to have Golurk and the Ninetales. Ninetales is one of her favorite Pokemon, and Toxapex is quite toxic, which she likes as well. And basically, you're going to have Golurk, which is going to be great against Clodsire, and you have the trap of the Ninetales with Powder Snow and Weather Ball to bait out potentially opponents' Clodsires to try to catch them off guard. It kind of depends here, like this team kind of functions based on trying to bait out the wrong Pokemon here. It's kind of a trap team, because you're going to have, for example, the obvious weakness against Pokemon like Greninja. Greninja definitely doesn't want to deal with, can deal with the Golurk, but also can deal with the Ninetales, which is a little bit of an issue. But if you want to swap out into that, they might swap out because they think that you have Charm, where of course Greninja has no play against Ninetales then, so you kind of want to bait out potential Pokemon. In this case, we kind of try to bait out Clodsire, which doesn't want to face the Golurk. And so yeah, this team kind of tries to get Toxapex into a position to sweep endgame, and that's going to be it also for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.